Hey guys, welcome back. I feel like I've mentioned this before, but it is weird to... I feel like in the last episode I looked over to the side, but whenever I see my profile, I'm like, blah. Who is that? It looks so much different. I don't like it. I don't know what it is, but I like the way I look from the front better. That's why I try to angle myself towards the camera, like, and then kind of look this way to the game. I don't know, that's not worth mentioning, but oh boy, today's a weird day for sure. I had another note about my job that I forgot. I was talking about my job yesterday and how I don't like it. How I'm bad at it. I guess I could talk more about that. But I had a dream. Was it Friday? Probably Friday. And I woke up from the dream in the middle of the night. And I was like, whoa, that was a really interesting dream. I should write down. And I had forgotten that I wrote it down. I don't usually do that, like wake up in the middle of the night and think of a note, but I didn't. It was interesting. So the dream was, this kind of summarizes, I think when I explain this dream, it's going to make my boss sound bad. I don't really intend for that to happen, but this is how I feel. Your brain and your dreams, they're a reflection of how you feel about life. So this is how I feel, like whether it's not reality, right? It's just how your brain is perceiving reality. So this is how I experience my job, and this is why I hate it and why I think I'm terrible at it. But it's gonna make my boss sound like bad, but I don't know. I don't want it to make him sound bad. That's not why I'm telling it. I'm telling it because this is my experience with it. I don't know. Stop trying to explain everything. So my boss called me and was like, I'll just read it and then I'll explain everything. Stupid. There's a red coin. Oh no, it's reflecting off the water. You can't dive, I don't think. Or can you? Oh. Okay, I'll just read it. My boss called me and was like, do you know if these pieces were anodized? You should know. I asked you before to check, and then I said, no. Well, I said, I don't know. I'll have to look, or something. And then he called me again later in the dream and was like, shoot. And I was like, no. Then he asked me again later, and I said, no, sorry. And he was like, Anthony, what time is it? You don't have to know yet. I don't know. So the whole point of the dream was like, he asked me one thing, and I gave him an answer, like, no, sorry, I didn't check. And he was mad at me, like, come on, Anthony, I told you to check this thing. And then he called me again later and was like mad at me that I said sorry, that I didn't check, because he was like, you don't have to be sorry. That's how I feel whenever I talk to him. Like, no matter what I say, it's gonna be the wrong thing. I know that's not reality, obviously, but that's how I feel whenever I talk to him. Like, I'm always doing the wrong thing. He's never happy with anything I ever do. Sometimes I guess he is, but just every time. That's what's causing me stress and anxiety. Is like, I don't know what I'm doing, and like customer service, I started doing the customer service thing because they needed help. Like the head of sales kind of quit or something. They never really told me what happened, but then they needed his responsibilities to kind of go to other people in the company because the company's not doing great and they can't afford to hire anybody, and like he was doing a lot of stuff, so maybe they might have to hire like 2 people. So instead they just they spread his responsibilities around. So I started doing a lot of customer service stuff, which I have no experience with, and on top of that, like, I have social anxiety, so like, this is like the worst possible job for me. Oh no. And that's what my therapist kind of said too, is like, but she hasn't said like you should look for a new job, which is like kind of seems obvious, right? I am trying to do that, but it's hard, especially now. Everybody's gonna be looking for a job. Oops. I guess I kind of missed the boat on the job thing. So that's why I'm stressed out. I have no experience doing this, so I just kind of trust whatever he says. And sometimes it feels like he's saying one thing and then I do it and then he's still upset. And I'm like, wow, I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. He got pretty mad at me on Friday because I was sending emails to customers, and he's like, I don't know. At this point, he's just, I guess the whole week was kind of like weighing on him. And on Friday, he was like, you just gotta stop talking to the customers. You gotta talk to me first. And then I didn't. I don't know. There was a couple times where I still talked to the customers first without talking to him. He kept getting upset with me, like, come on, Anthony, you gotta stop doing that. Didn't I just say you were supposed to talk to me first? And I'm like, am I supposed to go to him with every little thing? It doesn't seem like that's what he would want me to do. It's hard to know what I'm supposed to do, because sometimes customers will ask questions, and I'm like, okay, I can answer this. But he's like, stop. And then when he says that to me, like, you gotta stop, you gotta just talk to me before you talk to the customers, I can't ever defend myself. Like, I can't tell him why I decided to. I can't communicate that to him. Like, well, why did I decide this time it was okay to talk to the customer, even though he did ask me to talk to him first? I had a reason, but I wasn't able to tell him. It was hard. I don't know. Yeah, I think the problem is that our our personalities don't really match. I mean, I know I'm hard to talk to because I don't really talk back. He's a talker. He likes to talk a lot. He likes to talk through problems, and that's how he thinks. So when he calls me, or when I have to call him, he wants to talk it through. So he wants me to talk to him and be like, okay, give me all the information you have, and let's talk through this situation. And I can't do that. So what I usually end up doing is sending him emails. That's the best way I can communicate, is like put all my thoughts on an email, and if you see anything's wrong there, you could tell me, or if you see I missed something, you can ask me to, but he always calls me. Whenever I send him an email, he'll call me. I know it's because calling is quicker. He sees the email and he kind of skims it and he's like, okay, I'll call him and then ask him about it. But I'm like, I put everything in the email because I can't talk about it. But I can tell he just skims the email. He doesn't really read it, because sometimes he'll ask a question that I answered in the email, and then I feel weird saying it again because I'm like, well, I said it in the email, so I don't want to assume that he doesn't know. That would be kind of disrespectful. It would feel like, I feel like if he says like, if he says something that makes me think he doesn't know what's in the email, and then I say, oh, well, I actually mentioned that in the email right here, he's going to be like, Anthony, I read the email. I know, I'm asking you because I have a question about this. That's how he talks to me. And it's a struggle. He's a good person. It's just, I know he really has a hard time talking to me, and whenever we talk, he wants me to talk, and I never do. I'm always stressed out, and like I'm worried I'm gonna, I don't know, say the wrong thing, or I guess I'm just worried I don't have all the information. Or where's that last red coin? Can I see it from here? Oop. I don't know. I don't see it. Still have a couple minutes. Whoa. Yeah, I think I explained that pretty well. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I have been avoiding talking about it because I didn't want to make it sound like, well, first of all, that I'm not grateful to have the job, because I am. A lot of people looking for jobs and they don't have jobs, and I'm complaining about a job I have. It's like, I don't know. And the other part is like, I don't want to make my boss sound too bad. I know if I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to make him sound pretty bad. I know deep down he must be appreciating what I'm doing, but he's never really said it. I guess it would be nice. I almost told him on Friday when he called me, like when he was like, I'm leaving. I wanted to tell him, like, I hope you know that I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm gonna tear up saying that, so that's obviously I can't tell that to him, otherwise I'll start crying or something. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm coming in every day, and I'm just trying. And I hope you know that because it doesn't seem like that was the thing I mentioned before. Like, does he trust that I'm trying to do the right thing? It doesn't feel like he trusts me. That's the thing that bothers me the most, I think. Like, I've been working there for 5 years, and I feel like I've never given them a reason to not trust that I'm always at least trying. Like, I make mistakes, obviously, but I've never, like, the thing that I think I'm most proud of, which might be something stupid, but I've never hid anything on purpose from them that, like, would make me look bad. Whenever an opportunity comes where, like, I have to tell the truth about something bad, I always do it. I feel like I never try to hide anything. I think part of that is just because I know I don't have any experience with this, so it's like, okay, I mean, they can't really blame me too much. I don't have any experience in sales, so they can't get too mad at me. But yeah, I'm just glad I never, because that's something, when you're afraid, it's an instinct to just be like, well, if I just hide it, maybe I can fix it by myself, but I try not to do that. Okay. Well, it's a weird couple days. I don't know if I'll just keep talking about work, but it does feel a little bit better to get off my chest some stuff. I don't really talk about work too much. I do have other notes, but I don't know if I'll get to them. Alright. Stay safe, wash your hands. That's my new, get your pets spayed and neutered. At the end of all my episodes, I'll say, stay safe, wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Maybe I'll talk more about the virus stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I have anything interesting to add. But I'll see you tomorrow.